Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network, 1050 AM, 102.3 and 106.5 FM. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sport. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Up Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
Hello, everyone. This is Razo, your host for the Fabulous Lifestyle. I'm very excited to be here on Sunday and enjoy it with everyone and be able to talk about one of my favorite topics, finance. So today you have a treat. I'm giving you a treat. We're going to talk about something very important in our economy. We're just around the corner for a recession. So I have my co-host Marie White with me, and we want to talk about, just have a conversation of what we should be doing as business owners. We will touch different things you can do for different businesses so you are prepared in case it all goes downside. You're set. Your strategy, your business is still standing, because at the end of the day, the good thing is every bad thing is going to have an end, right? But when that end happens, you want to make sure that your business is lasting for many more years to come, and you have all your employees and your business continues to flourish, to multiply. So let's go ahead, Marie. Let's talk about it. And you know what where this idea came up from the Fire Up Connect show. So you are all aware of the Fire Up Connect show is a platform where we meet every Tuesday and every Friday. And it's all different entrepreneurs, business owners from everywhere. It's a national network where we're meeting and basically talking about our businesses, our challenges, and we come up with very interesting topics like this one, a recession. What do we do? It's coming very soon, and it worries a lot of us. But only people that should be worried are the people who are not being prepared, the people who are not preparing themselves for what's happening. So, all righty. Oh, I never introduced myself, guys. Well, my name is Razo. Of course, I'm your host. I am the CEO of Solix Business Services. So what I do is I'm a business consultant. I multiply your business, but I don't do it like most traditional consultants do. I have a background in mathematics. I have a master's in mathematics, and I'm also pursuing my PhD. So I look at your numbers. I look at data. It's not just numbers. Data, it also includes other information that talks about the history of your business. We look at different data sets to come up with a strategy. And it touches three pillars that are very important, and you will agree with me: marketing, finance, and operations. If these do not align, then there's something wrong. It's like train tracks. They have to be parallel, the same thing as your pillars, in order for the train to go in the right direction, correct? All right, so what do you do in a recession? There's many businesses, right? Let's talk about real estate, Marie, since you are like the expert on real estate. How do you prepare for a recession?
Hi, Martha. Thank you for inviting me here. So the recession in real estate, it will depend on someone's financial situation. If you are an investor, you need to really understand what is your short and long-term goals. So whether there's a recession or not, you need to know what your goals are. And if you have that, prepared, then you'll know how to deal with recessions, because there's always ups and downs in real estate. And it also depends on how much capital you have when getting into the real estate business. If you are just a homeowner, looking for a house, then that's different. But if you are an investor or you're trying to buy investment properties where you're going to rent it, you need to learn how to deal with some of the state policies in terms of rental, and you need to understand how to deal with that. So that takes money when it comes to dealing with rentals. Now, recession is very, it's, again, there's There's good things and bad things about recessions. Now, you have to understand, okay, there are times that in recession, you actually do better in business, but how? And that's where I think you come in, Martha, because you look at the numbers. And when it comes to recession, you know how to predict and forecast the numbers. And that's part of being prepared in real estate too.
Yeah, you make a good point. I know that a lot of business owners, and you will agree with me, many of you who are listening are like, yeah, you're so right. Numbers is something that no one wants to look at. I mean, it's either because it's at the end of the day and it's the last thing you do, which is actually the first thing you should be doing, looking at your numbers. It's like when you're in school. How do you know if you're reading at the right level? How do you know if you're doing good on your math? You have to look at your report cards, right? It's a form of assessing business. I mean, business at the end of the day is numbers. You want to have sales going up and you want your profits to be at the margins that you need it to be at. So what do you need to do? You need to know those numbers. And it's very disappointing to me, but I can ask a lot of business owners and ask them, so how many units did you sold, or how many clients did you serve? How much profit margin did you obtain? Some of them do not know the answer. They're like, oh, I'm doing good. But what does good mean to you? Some of them would just be like 5%, or they would say 10%. I'm like, well, does it make sense to make that? And that's when they start being like, they start asking or questioning, oh, I'm not happy with that. So understanding where you want to be at. I mean, if I were running a food business, for example, or even a manufacturing plant, I will not be happy with 5%. I'd rather be the business with 100,000 netting at 30% than the 1 million producing 5% profit margins. I'd rather do that. So these are important things that as business owners you have to look at. Looking at your numbers, and the very basics is your profits and your sales. And unfortunately, many business owners are looking at them at the very end of the year, when the accountant is doing their taxes, when they either have to report that they have a loss or they have to report that they have a net. But they that is too late, right? That is too late. You can't budget for a marketing. You cannot create a strategy when it's too late. So I emphasize, at least not even at least, all the time, even if we're not going into a recession, check your numbers on a monthly basis. And these are the fundamentals, your profits and your sales. And then it even goes into deeper. So I will explain that in this next section, but what do I mean with deeper? That's just the surface. That is the surface, the profits and the sales. Very interesting. You discussed this on the Fire Up Connect show. And I want to mention this and add more details on the next section of this show. But marketing, have you seen that that when people go into a recession, they start lowering their budget on things so important like marketing? Why would you do that? If your competitor is doing the same thing, then you're being lost like your competitor. You want to shine. You want people to know that you exist. Let's say it's something simple like the tableware, like your plates and your cups. Well, if no one is doing it and you're the only one announcing yourself and paying for ads, and you're the only one that's showing up on Google, guess what? Everyone's going to buy from your brand. So make sure that you keep having a budget and spending on marketing, because that is very important. How do people know about you? Is if you let people know about yourself, and don't lower that when a recession is coming or because a recession is coming. So that's just a sneak peek. We're going to touch other industries. Marie told you a little bit about the real estate. And the next section, I'm going to talk about more figures we should look into, not just our sales, not just our profits, but what are other detailed numbers that are important that will break or make your business. And we're going to touch one of my favorite industries, the manufacturing and the food, because at the end of the day, everyone has to eat and be happy. But if you own a restaurant, you have to know that you also have to prepare for this recession. So once again, this is your host, Martha Razo. We're going into a commercial, so make sure you don't leave with the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network, 1050 AM, 102.3 and 106.5 FM. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sport. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.